Hey there, it's Marcia. Just a quick note. You're listening to a re released episode from the CORE Cultivation archives. So some of the details may have changed, but the message still hits home. So take what you need, reflect on what resonates, and let's get into it. Welcome to Core Cultivation. Here we explore different physical, lifestyle, and mindset moves to support your mental well being. I'm Marcia, wellness coach and fitness instructor, here to offer practical info to support your wellness journey. Please note, the information and opinion shared here is not to be used as therapy or replacement for the professional guidance given by your physician or mental health care providers. You acknowledge you are responsible for your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and hereby release Core Fitness from any and all liability. If you are having suicidal thoughts, please dial 988 or visit the nearest emergency room. Alrighty, y'all, let's talk. Hey there, welcome to the podcast. So glad to have you along as always. Thank you for being here. So, today I'm looking to give you information, give you mindset moves, something to help shift your thinking and your approach to mental wellness and really wellness overall. So, I've talked about this before. If you've heard me speak about it before, apologies for hearing it again, but I want to revisit a little bit of information about wellness and then shift to the challenge that I'm hoping to present to you today. So, when we think of wellness, what comes to your mind? Like, what images come to your mind? What thoughts tend to surface? What feelings and sensations surface? Like, what is your reaction to wellness? When I really started sharing information with you all, I'm Googling images of wellness and I get these abstract pictures, which are not bad. This is not a downplay on or criticism on the artist or what is actually there. But I'm getting pictures of people meditating, people in nature, maybe doing some forest bathing, waterfalls, sunsets, smooth rocks and stones stacked on top of each other and pretty sand, which are really nice and relaxing, by the way. They do evoke a feeling of relaxation and peace and calm and serenity, but it's still very kind of abstract and broad. I mean, and those are pictures that come to mind. But I mean, I was just in the store yesterday shopping for some things, and there was a wellness sign, and up under it are all these beauty products. So, again, the concept can seem very broad. On one hand, it's like we know what it is that it is, but on the other hand, we don't. The feelings and the sensations that it evokes, and maybe that you had a second to think about it, maybe it does draw you to a sense of peace, relaxation, serenity, things like that. But overall, the term is so broad and it's used in so many different areas from, meditation and nature to, buy this face mask. It's like, okay, but what exactly is wellness? So, that said, let's try and give a little bit of clarity around what wellness is exactly. The National Wellness Institute is among several organizations that has a definition and really a wellness wheel that helps you conceptualize what wellness is. And wellness, really, in a nutshell, is about trying to live your best life. It's about not just trying to get by, but trying to thrive, really live to your full potential in different areas. The different areas, it could be occupational, career, employment. It could be your social, your network, your connections. It could be around your mental and emotional well being. It could be around your physical well being. So there are different areas of wellness, but the idea and concept itself is regardless of the area that you're focused on, it's about trying to level up, not just get by, not just survive. And so, even though we might be focusing on one of those particular areas, and here we look to focus primarily on mental and physical well being, the goal, while we're trying to reach those feelings of serenity. And I think in pictures, so I think about that scene from Forrest Gump. I think it's at the end of the movie where the feather just comes lightly falling from the sky and just gently falls, and it's not like again, this is the sensation that comes up when I'm thinking of wellness. It's like that's what we want to achieve, but we really need to get more clear about what exactly wellness is and how to get from our lives, which in my life and in those that I talk with and work with, does not feel like a feather falling from the sky gently. It does not feel like a bed of roses or, cotton candy and metals. That's not the feedback that I'm getting from people living their daily lives and the stressors that they're experiencing. So, how do we get from this space of stressors and life challenges to, all that lightness and levity? And so, this is, I guess, where I want to challenge you. This topic came to me. I was speaking to a group about wellness, stress management, things like that. And we were talking about different techniques, tips, and tools that you can use to help manage stress, reduce stress, self care tools, practices, things around that nature. And you're probably aware of some of those different things, trying to make sure you get enough sleep, getting engaged in physical activity, looking at getting time in nature, things that but again, how do you make it happen? And so I had somebody ask during that time, and this was kind of a corporate work setting, how do you make it happen? And it was a legit question, and I appreciated them for asking it because it helped me realize that while a lot of us know what to do and can do it, there is a block in actually doing it and executing on these wellness practices and self-care practices and stress management practices, because we don't necessarily come at those things with the same type of focus and intention that we do with everything else in our lives. So, alarm clock goes off in the morning, or you wake up in the morning and all of the things, they start flooding your mind if they didn't keep you up all night already. But there's always these things that we have to do, and you are moving through your days with an agenda. Okay, I got to get this done, I got to do this, I got to go check on that, I got to do this for that person. And so these things are on our mind, these things are at the top of mind, and we're moving forward with those goals. And my question and challenge to you is your wellness on your goals sheet for that day? Are you focused and intentionally moving forward with trying to get some of the things done for yourself, for your self care, for your wellness, for your sanity, as you do with everything else? That's the mindset challenge, or that's the question. And then the challenge is to, of course, make that shift and put yourself on your list of things to do. First of all, are you on your list of things to do? Is your self care, is your stress management, is your mental well being on your list of things to do? And if not, it needs to get on there. And if it is already on your list of things to do, where on the list? Like, is it at the bottom? Is it after you take care of everything and everybody else? Or is it in the middle? Is it at the top? Like, again, where is it? The challenges of life are coming. They're coming for your time, they're coming for your money, and they're coming for your attention. We often say if it's not one thing, it's something else. We know life happens, and we know as adults, okay, yeah, we kind of have to do what we have to do, but these things are constantly happening. So if we know that life is coming for us in one of these different ways, your time, your money, your sanity, your peace of mind, then can you afford to not have your mental well-being, your physical well-being, or whatever other aspect of wellness you're focusing on, not on your list of things to do? If you've got all of these life challenges coming your way, constantly challenging you and testing you, can you afford to have your mental well being at the bottom of your list of things to do? That's the challenge. And so, this is where I'm challenging you to shift your mindset to one of it's not an option, which brings me to today's topic. It's not a game. All right. This is not a game. Wellness is work. Okay. Wellness is work. This thing called life, this adulting thing that we have to do, it's one thing after another. I'm laughing, I'm joking, but it's real. There are some of you out there that are probably moving through very difficult seasons and patches in your life. And it really does feel like one thing after another. And it's in those moments that we often push our needs, our self-care, our stress management to the bottom of our list of things to do, if it even is on the list. But that's the very time where you cannot afford to ignore your mental well-being, because life keeps lifing. So this is where I want to challenge you to shift your thinking from a passive approach. When your mental well-being, your physical well-being is not on your list, or it's at the bottom of your list, or you're thinking it's just going to fall into your lap like that feather from the sky, and at some point you're just going to step into a sense of peace and well-being, you got to take a fighter's approach. So like, you got to get in your corner, kind of hype yourself up. It's like, okay, the alarm clock goes off. Okay, they coming for me. They coming for my time. They coming for my attention. They're coming for my money. They're coming for my peace of mind. Like, whatever it is, you kind of have to recognize that, in all seriousness, to some extent, this is a fight. And you've got to go in with an approach of, okay, I know that there are going to be things out there coming at me. I know there are going to be things out there to distract me, but my goal is to do what? And that's where you have to take some time and think about, what is it that is important to me? Is it my mental well being? Are there going to be items on my list of things to do that help support my mental well being as I deal with the challenges within my family, the challenges on the job, the challenges with these extracurricular activities I'm dealing with, my life situation, my finances? How am I going to make sure that I'm taking a minute to take care of myself while all of this chaos is going on around me? So, again, shifting from a passive approach. All those wonderful, warm, fuzzy feelings, they're nice, they're warm, they're fuzzy. They don't just happen. You got to work for this. I almost feel like Debbie Allen back in the day when we had Fame, the original Fame. And it's like, you got dreams, you want fame. Well, fame costs. I need a staff. I don't have a staff. But that's the same way you got to look at this whole thing. I got Creed on one hand, I got Debbie Allen on the other, but you want peace of mind, you want sanity. Well, it costs, it's work. And right here is where you start paying in sweat. Like, you got to work for this thing. Approach it with that type of focus, and then see how your behaviors can begin to line up with that goal in mind, every day, every hour, every minute. And this is a constant choice. This is something that you have to revisit every day and throughout the day to keep you on track. Because again, life happens, it distracts us. I'm sure there have been times in your life where you kind of look up and you're like, wait, how did I get all the way over here? That's why you gotta, again, constantly check in with what's important to you. What are your goals? Which actually brings me to my next point, which is looking at what I call core work. So this is something that I highlighted and emphasized to those who are in my community. And I think it's a great approach to consider to help you stay focused and help you with that mind shift. So, again, recognizing that wellness doesn't just fall from the sky, that you've got to work for it. One of the ways that you can go about shifting your mind and focusing there is through core work. So, CORE, core, C, commit. You have got to make a commitment. You got to make up in your mind that you're going to start taking care of your well being, whatever aspect it is. And again, we focus here on mental and physical well being. But you got to make up in your mind that I'm going to commit to taking care of myself. Change begins in the mind. And so, the behavior can follow, but until you make that decision that I'm moving forward in this direction, I may not have it all worked out, but I know that this is something that's important to me and something that needs to happen, nothing else is going to happen. So you got to first make that commitment. Then you've got to own it. Take ownership of your actions. Something else I often find myself saying when I talk to different groups is listen to your body. Nobody else is living in your body. So when I'm teaching fitness classes, I will say, listen to your body and do what it says is okay to do. While I might show you different moves to bring the intensity up or down or options and modifications, like you're the one who's living in your body. You know what that sensation is on your left knee and what your breathing does in certain atmospheres, when your chest starts feeling tight or that ache in your lower back. Like, those sensations. I have no clue. You can tell me, yeah, I've got a lower back injury or whatever, but you're the one who's living in your body. And so you know it better than anybody else. And while I'm giving you physical examples, the same applies to your heart and your mind. You know what's going on in your heart. You know your emotional level of kind of baseline and what's going on there, and the grief or the difficult feelings that you might be going through, as well as different mental shifts and mindset challenges that you're trying to work on in your life and as far as your personal development. You know these things. There's no way anybody else can know better than you. Yes, we've got friends and family members who may know us very well, but you're living in your body. You have your own perspective and eyeball on your heart and your mind. So you've got to take ownership of taking care of your mind, taking care of your heart, taking care of your body, because nobody else knows it. And so, while in some cases we may want and maybe expect to a degree other people, other entities to do certain things for us, to take care of certain aspects of us, of our well being, or support our well being. And that's not necessarily wrong. At the end of the day, it's your body, it's your mind, it's your heart. So you have to know your limitations. You have to know what you can and can't handle. After you have decided to take ownership, you have to take a second and think about, rest and reflect. Think about what's really important to you. What is it that you need to have happen for your mental well being, for your physical well being? What are your priorities? What are your goals? Sometimes we need to just take a second and be still, get quiet so we can kind of detach from all of the noise around us, get quiet from all the chaos that's going on around us, try to take a minute to hear ourselves think, get in touch with our gut and our God to kind of hear what direction and what guidance is there. It's like we kind of just got to shut up. And so just shut up and sit down. Go in a corner, just go over there, sit down, be quiet, and listen. Listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your mind, listen to what begins to surface. And this is sometimes a space where people are not comfortable being still because some things may begin to surface. And so, again, this is not intended to replace any kind of therapy or guidance that you're getting from your mental health or medical professional. So, if the quiet ends up being a space of triggering for you, please do what is appropriate for your mental and physical well being. But sometimes there are some things that we need to give thought to, and we do need to give space for when it comes to some things that maybe we've been avoiding, or maybe they're just difficult decisions that we have to start navigating through. You need to take the time to listen to all that surfaces. That doesn't mean that, you have to make the perfect decision right then and there or solve it right then and there, but it does allow you to get back in line with, again, your gut, your God, your values, your priorities. But if we're too busy going to and fro, too busy doing this and that, and leading from one exercise or one thing into another, a lot of times we kind of feel like we lose ourselves. And I can't tell you how many times I've had clients say that to me, where they say, I just feel like I've lost myself because I've been doing XYZ for so long or for so many other people that I'm not even sure what's important to me. That's why you've got to periodically and regularly take time to rest and reflect. Rest your body, rest your mind, reflect on what's important to you, reflect on your values, reflect on your goals. Even if you feel like you don't know, the more time you take to get quiet and be still, those things will begin to reveal themselves and become clear for you. So commit, own, rest and reflect, and then engage. Once you've got some clarity on who you are, what's important to you, what your priorities are, what your values are, what your goals are, then it's time to get to work, essentially. Like, let's go on and do this, which brings me back to the fighter's mentality. You get back in your corner. It's like, okay, let's do this. And then you can move forward with purpose, with direction. You will be less likely to get distracted because you know what it is that you're working towards. And even when the challenges arise, again, you're going to be able to kind of sift through them and navigate through them with a better sense of direction. Engage all of the resources within you and around you. Tap into the resources around you, your friends, your family, your support network, your spirituality, your faith, the actual financial and occupational, whatever external community resources are around you, networking, talking, the support resources, whether it's professional, counseling, therapy support, whether it is physical support in the form of exercise, personal training, group fitness, like tap into all of those resources to support your mental and physical well-being. But do not forget that there are a ton of resources and skills and abilities within you already. Again, sometimes when we're so busy going to and fro, doing this and that, and taking care of this person and that thing, and we move through life step by step, sometimes we forget how we really got where we got. And you are here, you are standing, you have accomplished something just by making it to this point in life. So don't forget how you got here. Take a second and go and look back at it. Like, look back at what you have done. Look back at maybe some of the challenges that you've come through and how you managed to come through that. Don't forget your own resiliency. Don't forget the praying and the spiritual tools that you use to get through certain things. Don't forget the growth that you have made in your personal life, and how maybe you used to think one way about one thing, but how you've made some adjustment and how that's improved your life. Don't forget how you've maybe changed how you communicate and how you interact with people and how that's improved. Don't forget how much you have done and how much you have accomplished, because you've come this far. And so if there's anything in front of you that you feel like you can't do or are having trouble doing, you learned and you managed to get through all those past things. You can learn and adapt and adjust and tap into your inner and external resources to help you get over whatever is in front of you. So, core work, this is your way of approaching your mental well-being on a daily, hourly basis. You've got to make a commitment and get in there and do the work so that you can achieve your goals for your personal, physical, and mental well-being. So that's my, thing. It's like, take the spider's approach. We in here, let's do this. So that said, I want to encourage you to constantly be thinking about, what's my core work for today? What's my core work for this week? And so to that end, because this is something that I have to do myself. My core work that I've been trying to get back to doing, that again, life has thrown me off of, is getting back to walking. Walking has been something that has been such a huge stress reliever for me. It does so many different things for me. The movement helps to clear my mind, it helps me with creativity, planning, and just de escalation and decompression after long days. And of course, the physical movement has great benefits as well. So I've been trying to get back into that. I used to walk like every day, multiple times a day, whether it was 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And of course, during the pandemic, I had a little bit more flexibility with that. While things have changed, I've gotten away from it, but I want to reintegrate that to a manageable degree. So this past week, I think I was able to get in about 4 or 5 walks. Some of them were more intense, some of them more of a stroll, but I was able to get in those evening walks. So my core work that I'm going to pat myself on the back for was getting in more walks. So my question to you is, what's your core work? Did you get your core work in? And what is going to be your core work for this particular week? If you need some help getting some core work in, I'm inviting you to come participate in my 7-day Get to Stepping Beginner Walking Challenge. If you feel like I know I need to be moving, but something's always getting in the way, or maybe you've had a minor injury or some discomfort in your body, and you know that if you move more, it's going to promote healing, healthy healing. Or maybe you've gotten some feedback from your doctor that you need to get moving more, and walking would be a great way to do that. Even if you are a seasoned walker, maybe you're looking for some different ways or some creativity, some things to sprinkle into your current walking regimen. This is also an opportunity for you. It's a 7-day walking challenge, email based. So you will get an email every day, 7 days, with a particular task to complete. The tasks are not overwhelming. This is not about getting a massive step count. It's not about getting 10,000 steps every day. Of course, if that's something that you want to do, you are more than welcome to do that. But it's going to be focused more so on getting going and actually doing versus overwhelming sensation that I got to get 10,000 steps. If I don't, I failed and I lost the challenge. Like, it's not about that. It's about jump starting your movement, and there will be opportunities for live interactions in our online chat, our private online chat, but also through some of the activities throughout the week. Click the link, check it out, and come join the challenge. That's pretty much all I had for you. I do want to thank you again for your support. Please give me a like, give me a follow, share it, subscribe, do all of the things. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time, y'all. Thanks for tuning into this re release from the Core Cultivation archives. For updates on current programs, events, and services, visit scicorefit.com or follow me on social media. Until next time, take care.